All right, what's up? I'm Santiago Valencia. In case if you're new here, we're gonna be doing some shoulders and delts today, specifically just traps and delts. So pretty much two muscles. I think for traps we'll likely do two sets, not two sets, two different exercises, and for the delts we'll do three. Yeah, so in total we'll do five sets, five different exercises. I don't get why I keep mixing up sets and exercises. It's not going to be such a long day. Be a pretty quick session. Before I used to put my delt training into my arm training, but as of late I felt like my biceps have just been tired out a lot more easily than ever before. Even more so with the triceps. Yeah. Bit strange. Yesterday we did arms and it was a strange workout because I've never been so depleted with my energy when it came to even the second exercise for the biceps. Guess I have to probably recover more, but yeah, that's pretty much the general gist today of it. You guys are pretty much up to date with that. We'll be doing the same workouts as before. I think we should do shoulder pressing. When I did it on the Smith machine, it wasn't as good. I didn't feel it too much, so I might do it with free weight instead. Maybe that can change. I can change a bit of the feeling there, and then after that, we'll do. I'm kind of tempted to do more of the supersets because I used to superset a lot doing delts. I used to superset specifically the delt raises. I guess I'll call them done delt front raises with what was it? Oh yeah, with these. I'm not gonna lie, doing these the sideways, those give me a really good pump with less weight. It's like the same situation with what I had yesterday with biceps doing the spider curls. If I use it with dumbbells, I get a really good contraction. Yeah. And I think it's the same scenario with just doing these very vertical raises of the delts with just 10 pounds too. We'll see. If I'm very tired by the first one, I don't think I'll superset it because I've noticed my body has been changing a little bit than before. So I can't really compare, let's say, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird example, but I can't really compare a green apple to a red apple. They're still an apple. It's the same thing, but they're different colors. I guess that's just the way how I see it. But yeah, let's get it moving before I make even more bizarre comparisons. Welcome to the channel where I literally I talk the weirdest shit in here. I'm gonna start these with a 40 because it's been a while. Let's see. It's pretty light. Yeah, that's very light. Let's get to 50. I've definitely gotten stronger in those. So I remember tossing this weight, and it wasn't super heavy, but it's a little bit of a challenge. I've gotten stronger. Let's get the 60s. Okay, let's lift this up. Interesting. That's a bit. I'm stronger, but it's like, I don't know, the level of challenge isn't there as it used to be. Just on this though, just on this. Let me finish it. That happens, you know. Your your muscles are like, hey, I got you. Throw anything at me, but that's where you gotta outsmart it, you know. Interesting. Let's do front. Good to note. Yeah, that is interesting. I'll explain it when we pose down, just so we can keep it moving. But very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So let me see. Last time we did these, I did the max of 40 pounds, but I, I can lift a 40, but maybe the isolation is not super good. So I think it might be like a 35. Although it does depend, because what we did over there, I was a bit surprised. I was a lot more stronger than I thought. All right, there was just a single 10, so obviously we're not going to do singles. I got the 15s. It's going to be a lot more harder because of that. Okay. Those 25 felt heavier. But that's a good sign. Last time when I did these, I think the Smith didn't do its job for me too much. But doing that, I didn't feel it a whole bunch, but I think that's kind of bleeding out with doing that first one. keep on the 35s. Yeah, putting to it 40. So I don't even think I did too many reps there. Even though I know my form's not the best when it comes to this, I try so hard to keep my arms straight, but do it. Believe me, it is way harder than what it looks like when you do those. That's why I got it from, I actually got it from Charles Glass. Yeah, so effective, in my opinion. Gives me a big pump on the sides, which is what I need too, because I don't think I have the best genetics when it comes to the delts, so I gotta really work on that. There's only 110 over there, so we're gonna have to do these with 15 pounds. By the gauge of energy, right now, I think I'm at 30%. We'll see how the traps are, because maybe, I'm not sure that was a good idea. I think I'll leave it there with that. Let's move on to traps. Let me see how that feels. I'm gonna do shrugs, because I mean, what we just did, my traps are being engaged too. So we'll see ultimately. I'm not feeling it hugely. I mean, in comparison, it's not that I don't feel it, but don't mistake my words. I feel it, but my head, I always compare it to something that I feel the most. If I do just the plates themselves, I think I get it better. But even so, I think I just gotten stronger because if I get the plates, I think it's too light. Now there is a seat here. Maybe I've been doing it wrong the whole time. That's very likely because you know how I am. I do things sometimes the reverse. Okay, that was better. I had to sit down. I don't know, sometimes just that I felt I've used these before, but I haven't done an exercise with them, but I just used them to see what they were. And at first I thought they were, for some reason, for your chest. Doesn't make sense. We're done with those. I'm thinking of another trap exercise we could do. Let me see. Yeah, I have to look at something up because I don't even train traps, to be honest. Cable shrugs. You know what? That's actually not such a bad idea. Cable shrugs it is. Yeah, because I felt like what we did here was more up and down. If we do the cables, we'll go more from forward to back. So yeah. Let's see how it feels. I've never done it before. There we go. You do have to up the weight a bit, and it's like a particular movement too. Because in my head, I'm like, I don't want to bend too much, or else I don't know, you're kind of removing a bit of the force that can come from the traps. But even so, accidentally kind of moving the elbows when it's up here does make it a whole lot better though. Not just for the ease of weights though, but just the whole connection too. Hang on, I have an idea. So if I'm up in a pedestal, I'm pretty sure the amount of tension is going to be a lot more higher. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's a bit better. Not an extreme difference, but I do prefer to stand on this than going on the ground. I'm not that tall, so. Oh, so. That was very, very Spanish. Yeah. Let me do one more and I'll kind of like articulate my thoughts a little because I kind of have an idea, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want to say anything because maybe the next set I'll do. I'll have a completely different change of mind. Probably 200 or something. Oh shit, I thought that thing was slipping. I'm not really a big fan of these because it's like not enough. So I have to keep increasing the weight. I don't know if I might be doing it wrong, but I don't really feel it too much. I'm throwing you guys around loops. I'm like kind of, I'm kind of figuring out as I go what I should do. So I'm really based on feeling today. The delta training that we did today was not extremely tiring, but it took its toll a little bit. So let's see what we've done so far. Let's see what type of damage we've done. This angle never fails me. Because the thing is, the light is like right where you guys are. So like the light is perfectly reflected. But if I'm facing the mirror here, it's coming from down to forward. So it doesn't make sense. In fact, that's kind of, well, there's this light, but it's way too bright though. Okay, let me put my shirt on. Okay, so what is the summary? The summary is that ultimately, when I do these, like when we did that superset, you saw there hasn't yet been an exercise that works so effectively from my side delts. I get such a big pump doing that. And then for the rears, same thing for the rears. I went to failure easily there. I wasn't able to do a lot more reps than what I thought I would. Which goes to show, too, I think that's more from the first exercise in the superset that by the time we went to the third one, where I was thinking of doing more of a isolation for the rear delts, I was like, my overall delts were just kind of beaten down at that point, which is why I wasn't able to complete 12 reps or 15 reps. I did like 8 or 10, something like that. And even so, when I got to the 6th rep, like after the 6, I was just pretty much doing partials and trying my best to just get that shit up each rep. But that's a good thing. That's what in my opinion, that's what I want. I want my muscles to have a really hard time in each exercise, because that's how you grow. And a lot of people say that no pain, no gain. I mean, oh God, I feel so stupid. Yeah, let's just say, Jesus, I can't even think right now. Pain equals no gain. Yeah, that's what a lot of people think. But not necessarily. You have to train with intensity. Well, okay, look. Here's my idea on the pain process. If you're feeling pain that's anywhere else, that's not the muscle that you're targeting, then yeah, pain equals no gain. But if you're doing delts, for example, and you're feeling pain in the delts, then that's complete bullshit. You do get gains if you feel pain in the delts. Why? Because you're forcing your fibers to grow. You're stimulating it. That's why you feel pain in the first place. How are you supposed to grow if you don't feel pain? That just to me feels so moronic. Like that's so stupid. You gain by feeling pain. It's not other ways around. You have to train with intensity, because you're forcing your body to do something that it doesn't want to do. And I'm not talking about mentality or any of this stuff. It's just literally a fact. Your fibers are stretching. They're simulating. They're signaling your brain like, hey, this hurts. Please stop. And so when you keep on going, it's like, shit, he's not listening to us, or she or he is not listening to us. We got to build more muscle on top of us so we don't hurt our internal system. And that's just the way how it is. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know who came up with the idea of like, oh, if you feel pain, you don't get gains. That's not true. You have to feel pain. If you're feeling pains that's not, and if you're feeling a pain that's in your, let's say, ligaments or your joints, well, yeah, you should tone it down a bit. But if you're doing bodybuilding, you have to train with intensity. But I think you guys get that. With traps, we did too. That last one I did not like. I was doing the full stack, and I wasn't actually feeling it a whole bunch. So I'm not going to keep doing that. The shrugs were all right. Not something out of the world. I mean, they were okay, let's say. I mean, if in an emergency situation, I would do it. I don't think I'm going to repeat that for the next trap day. I think I'm going to try to find something else. I tend to, like, if I don't feel it so much, if I don't feel already by the 6th rep like this just burning and getting huge, then I don't love it. It's just that simple. I don't love it. Especially where traps where I never do traps. So it should feel much more painful than what it should, because I don't do traps. So when your muscles are not used to doing something primarily, of course your traps get hit by indirectly when you do delts, back, hell, even sometimes arms, pretty much anywhere. But when you isolate them, that's something different, and you should definitely feel, let's say, a pump. I'm very pump oriented. I have to do traps and shrugs and feel that shit getting bigger, or I have to do arms and feel that shit getting bigger. That's just the way how I train. I'm very pump oriented, but I don't neglect the myofibula aspect of it, which is like when you train with myofibula, you're doing more weights, so you're targeting the muscle fibers actually than rather sarcoplasmic, which is that space where all the glycogen comes in. That's just more of specifics, but yeah, I've done a lot of, let's say, sarcoplasmic types of exercises. But either way, whether you do sarcoplasmic or not, you're still hitting the fibers. Even doing those sarcoplasmic, they get bigger. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, I kind of want to repeat that really understand what you're doing when you're exercising. Like, take a good look. If you're not feeling it too much, but someone else is telling you, hell, even me, right? Whatever I'm doing, it likely won't work for you, right? Definitely not, because each person's body's different. My genetics are different. My body's different. That genetics by itself plays a huge variable into it, which is why you have some people that train with more frequency, they do better. Maybe they add in a different sort of exercise, they feel better doing that. Or like in my case, I don't maybe do the same stuff that other people do. I do my own stuff, but I feel it more. Why? Because of, I don't know, it's just I'm more of a righty than a lefty. I do certain movements more backwards and forwards. Like there's just a lot of things going on. So you kind of have to find it out for yourself. It was the same thing when I was training with my little sister. I did back with her, right? And then I would do lat pull downs, barbell rows, tripod rows, cable back rows, and vertical bar rows, I guess we can call them. She didn't feel the barbell rows and she didn't feel the tripod rows. I did. I felt it a lot doing the tripod rows. Cable back rows, sort of. The vertical barbell rows, which, I call them vertical. I just don't do them with a T-bar, but I just grab the bar by themselves. I feel it better. She felt it a whole lot. You see? I feel it a lot too, but that just goes to show that, each person's body is different. That's where, if I was her, I would not do tripod rows. I would not do barbell rows, but I would add in the last one, barbell rows, and I would find other exercises. That's where I kind of, I don't know. What I used to do is I used to look at, okay, who are the bodybuilders that have the biggest traps? Who are the which bodybuilder has the biggest delts? Which bodybuilder has the biggest triceps? Which bodybuilder has the biggest biceps? Which one has the biggest quads? Which one? And so you kind of do a Frankenstein workout. You grab one thing from the other person, you grab the other, and that's how I did it, right? And from doing that, I found what I discarded because it didn't work so well, and then from what was left out there, that's what I do till today, pretty much. And I recommend you to do the same, because repeating exactly what other people do is absolutely, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Definitely not. Nope. Nope. Not. No, your body's different. But you should train with intensity. Yeah, you should. Okay, I'll leave you guys with that. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.